The Logitech Pebble 2 Combo is a great keyboard and mouse setup for users of all types. The keyboard is compact enough for a quick setup on the go, and it's customizable for everyday use with a modern look. The mouse and keyboard use Logitech's Silent Touch technology for quiet use when clicking the keys or the mouse. So if you're ready to learn more about the Logitech Pebble 2 Combo, let's get started.
Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at the Logitech Pebble 2 Combo. It comes with the mouse and keyboard, and I'm super excited about this one today because I've been wanting to get this keyboard combo set for a while. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's inside the box. Alright, so the first thing, we've got this nice sustainable packaging that the keyboard comes in, and this is the size of the keyboard. Very cool. And now, if we look at the rest of the box, we've also got the sustainable packaging for the mouse as well. It comes in this nice, I don't know if you can see it right here, it says Logi on it. It's almost like a cotton type sustainable packaging, and this is the mouse. Very cool. And then the last thing that comes in the actual package, we've got the USB receiver. I don't know if we can see that, but it also has the Logi Bolt on it. So we'll go ahead and cover that later in the video what that's about. But that's everything that comes in the package. And then as you can see, it comes with a little instruction manual. And then also it comes with instructions on the inside of the box on how to set everything up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the keyboard and the mouse. All right, so here's the mouse, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull the little plastic tabs that come on it. So the first one you can see right here, there's a little plastic guard that goes over the circle. So we went ahead and remove that. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom of the mouse. As you can see, we've got the device selector here, sensors, everything, and it's got the two emblems for Bluetooth and Logi Bolt technology, so we'll cover that later in the video. And then what you can see right here is there's this little plastic tab to pull, and this is where the battery case is. So I'll go ahead and pull that. And as you can see, it pops right open, and this is where the battery is stored. It comes out of the box with a AA battery. And then a nice thing also, if you look right here, you've got a little slot where you can put the USB receiver if you're not using it. That way we don't lose it. So I'm just gonna put it right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on. Very simple. Now if you look at the bottom, it is flashing. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. So I'm gonna slide the little dial down. And so now it's turned off, the red showing. Now let's take a look at the keyboard. All right, same thing with the keyboard. You can see that it is a pretty small keyboard, which is nice. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around. And you can see on the back, it's also got the Logi Bolt and Bluetooth emblems. And then also in the battery case, we've got this plastic tab. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the case for the battery off. And you can see that it does come straight out of the box with two batteries. They are AAA. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this little tab. You can see the battery pops out. So I'll go ahead and make sure the batteries are put all the way in. All right, I'll go ahead and put the case back on. Now if I flip it around, you can see that the light is flashing. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look and see how to set all this stuff up, and then we'll get going with the rest of the video. And one thing I just noticed on the side here, it looks like this is actually where the power is, so I'm gonna go ahead and power that off as well. So you can see, hopefully it's clear for you, that it does show red, and now the light is not flashing, so we can save that battery.
All right, so here we are on the Logitech website, and at the time of this recording, the price for the Pebble 2 Combo is $59.99. And again, at the time of this recording, I purchased this keyboard mouse set with my own money, so I don't have any type of affiliation with this brand. I don't have an Amazon affiliate link at this time, but I will add a link in the future if I end up getting an Amazon affiliate link. But as you can see, for the price of $59.99, this is a very good price for this keyboard. And so when we're looking at the Pebble 2 Combo, let's take a look at the four colors that are offered. So the four colors that are offered for the Logitech Pebble 2 Combo are black, tonal graphite, tonal rose, and white. So as you can see, there are four very good looking color combinations for this set. So let's go ahead and jump back to the website and look at some of the specifications and compatibility. All right, so here we are back on the Logitech website, and the color that I chose to go with is the tonal gray. The reason for that is because I liked the look of the black keyboard body with the gray keys and those three white hotkeys. And so that's just a personal preference. You can go with any of the 4 colors that Logitech offers, but this is just the one that I went with. Okay, so jumping back to the website, I'm going to go ahead and look at this specs and compatibility section, and this will actually show us all the different dimensions of the keyboard and the mouse, and it'll show some of the technical specifications, so let's take a look at some of those. So if we take a look at the specs and compatibility, one thing that I love is that the mouse and keyboard are small and minimalist size, and so the dimensions are listed here under specs and compatibility, but it is nice because if you do want to take your keyboard and mouse somewhere, it's a small enough combo where you can take it and fit it right inside of your bag. And a really nice thing that I love is that it does have multi-device pairing. And so if we take a look at the bottom of the mouse, what you'll see is that we do have these 3 little icons showing the 3 devices that you can connect, and then you use this little button to switch between those 3 devices. So if you do have a tablet or another computer, another laptop, anything you want to connect to, you do have that functionality to be able to connect to the 3 different devices. Another nice thing about the Pebble 2 combo is that you do have customizable buttons. So for example, on the mouse here, this button on the mouse is customizable, as well as 10 of the buttons on the top here are easily able to be customized using the Logitech app. And so what we can do is take a look later on in the video how we use that Logi Options app, and that'll show how to customize everything. Another thing that I do like about the Logitech Pebble 2 combo is that they have the ability to either be Bluetooth connected to the computer, or as you can see right here, they do have the USB receiver that uses the Logi Bolt technology. So what that allows you to do is either connect the keyboard and mouse to their devices using either Bluetooth or that Logi Bolt receiver. So if we take a look at the Logi Bolt receiver, what we'll see is this is a separate receiver that's used with Logitech compatible devices. But the nice thing about it is, if you do lose this receiver, you can always purchase a new one and then be able to still use that device you're using, or you can use this Logi Bolt receiver with other Logitech devices that you have that are compatible with that technology. So it's a nice way to be able to make sure that all of your Logitech devices are compatible and that you can use them in the event that you do lose that USB receiver.
All right, so now what we're going to do is take a look at a size comparison between the Logitech Pebble 2 keyboard to the Logitech K270, which is a very common keyboard. And so what you'll notice is the Pebble 2 keyboard is about half the size. And so if we did a size comparison of just the keyboard portion without the numbers, you would still notice that with the arrows and everything, the keyboard is much wider than the actual Pebble combo. You'll notice also that the arrows down here are much smaller than the arrows on the 270. These are more of a standard size key for the arrows. But again, what you'll notice is for size comparison, the Logitech Pebble 2 is about half the size of the K270. And so that makes this keyboard actually a lot more mobile if you want to take it in a backpack or if you want to put it inside of a carry bag. It's much more portable and a lot more minimalist looking than the K270. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the mice and then we'll do a sound comparison. All right, so now what we're looking at is the actual combo. You'll see that the mouse and the keyboard are that size that you see on the screen. And then now if I take the K270 and place it here, you'll notice that the keyboard itself is just about as wide as the mouse and the keyboard. And then if I add the mouse that comes with the K270 right here, you'll notice it fills up a good amount of the screen width-wise. And so now what you'll see is if you were to have to carry the K270, which by the way, this is a great set. This combo right here I've used for just about over a year now. I just wanted to have something a little more small and compact for the minimalist size that we have in the Pebble. But what you'll notice is this K270 is much bulkier for home use or whatever your purposes might be when you compare it to the Pebble. All right, so now let's take a look at the thickness. And so if you look at how wide the K270 is, you'll see that the Pebble is much thinner. When you're looking at how high off of the table or desk, wherever you're using the keyboard, you'll see the difference in the thickness. And now let's take a look at the mice. All right, so what we're looking at here is the Pebble mouse versus the size of the K270 mouse. And so if you look at them from a top profile, you'll notice they're both about the same width, but the Pebble is a little bit longer than the actual K270. But now if you look at them from the side, what you'll notice is the Pebble has a much slimmer profile, and the K270, while it is also a great mouse and has a higher arch, it does have that little bit thicker of a profile from the side. So that's basically just going to depend on the feel and for comfort that you have for your hand. I do love using the K270 because it does have that higher arch to fit your hand, but I also do like the Pebble because it does have the quieter clicks and it does feel very good ergonomically in your hand as well. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the sound comparison. All right, so here we have the Logitech K270. This is again a great keyboard, but let's go ahead and use the mic and see the volume of the keys when we compare it to the Pebble. So this is the Logitech K270. All right, and now we're gonna do a comparison using the Pebble 2 keyboard and my microphone to see the difference in volume. All right, so now we're looking at the mouse that comes in the K270 combo from Logitech. I'm gonna go ahead and use my microphone to see the volume of the mouse. All right, and now I'm gonna use the microphone to do the same volume test to see how the volume looks on the Logitech Pebble mouse. All right, so as you can see, there are some differences between the Logitech K270 and the Logitech Pebble 2 combo. So I hope that helps, and now let's jump into the rest of the video. All right, so here we are on the Logi Options app website. And so the way that we got here is we typed in logi.com/options plus. And this is the website that we're gonna use anytime we have any Logitech devices. And so what you can see is there's unlock device potential, key features, supported devices, so on and so forth. And so right here in the middle, what you'll see is there's a portion right here that says download for Windows 10 or later. So if you have Windows, that's the direct spot you could go to, or what you can do is you can scroll down and then you'll see a portion right here. And this is actually where you can customize all of your apps and everything by downloading for either Windows or for Mac. And so again, this is logi.com/options plus, and this is where you can optimize all of your different devices by downloading the software for the app, and then using that app is how you're actually going to customize all the functions and features on your devices. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how we connect the device and then how we actually use this app. All right, so I was just able to connect the mouse, so I'm using the Logitech Pebble 2 combination that I have now. It was very easy to connect. All I did was I went into my settings and I clicked right here where it says add Bluetooth or other device, and then it instantly recognized the Pebble K380S, which is the keyboard, and the Pebble M350S, which is the mouse. And then all I had to do was just go ahead and click connect, and now they're being registered. And so I have the mouse and keyboard connected via Bluetooth. And so that worked very easily. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go ahead and plug in the USB receiver just to see if that works as well. And then I'll open the Logi Options app and we'll get going. So as you can see, once I plugged in the USB receiver, it says it's setting up the device. And so once that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and click on the Logi Options app that I downloaded, and then we'll get going and setting everything up. All right, so you can see here in the bottom right corner, it says that the device is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the Logi Options app that I downloaded from the website, and we'll see how it works. All right, so now here I'm in the Logi Options Plus app, and as you can see, it shows the battery indicator and it shows that it's using Bluetooth for both the mouse and the keyboard. And so now what I'm gonna do is just click the mouse and see what options pop up. And as you can see, it says Meet Pebble 2 Mouse, and so I'm gonna go ahead and just follow these prompts and see what it does. So now what you'll see is you can adjust the pointer speed, so if you want it slower or faster, you can adjust that. And now I'm just gonna follow these arrows on the right-hand side and see what the next setup options are. All right, so the middle button here, this is that customizable button. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see what some of these different options are, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna choose Spotlight Effects. And if you look right here, it shows you a picture of what it does. And so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So when I push that button down in the middle, it's gonna highlight everything. You can choose the size, how big you want the pointer to be, and then you'll see it'll black out the background, and then you can change the contrast that you want. So I'll go ahead and leave it right around 80. You also have the option to magnify it, or you can make it look like a laser, and so it'll put a red dot on where you want it to be. But I'm gonna go ahead and use this circle. So let's go ahead and leave it there. And I'll go ahead and hit next. All right, and then it says right here, you pair your mouse with up to 3 devices and switch between them. So now you can see this is the easy switch button, and so if you click that circle, it'll switch between any of the 3 devices that you have hooked up.
And I'm going to go ahead and push the button again. All right, and now you can set up customizations for different programs that you open, anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and save that for later. But it says right here the spotlight effect works, and so I'm going to go ahead and try that. And as you can see, I just click the middle button, and then it does highlight whatever I'm clicking on. So if I wanted to show right here this purple button, I'm going to go ahead and click the button. And now you'll see that that is exactly where we want to click. And so that function has been set up. Very simple through this app. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing now with the keyboard. And so I'm going to go ahead and click this arrow using that highlight feature I just created. I'm going to go ahead and click that arrow, and let's see what custom functions we can set up on this keyboard. All right, so right here it says that we've got dictation button to start dictating anything on an active text field. You can also quickly access emojis and easily screenshot content. I'm going to go ahead and skip that one for right now. All right, now as you can see, it looks like we've got some default shortcuts, but we can also create our own for all of these keys right here. And we've also got keys we can set up. These are called F keys, and these allow us to switch media for the function keys anytime by pushing function and escape, and then use the F keys freely without needing to fit anything in there. And then we also have the easy switch button. This is the same thing that happens on the mouse. And so these three buttons right here, these allow us to switch between the three devices that we can set up on the keyboard. All right, so it says we're all set. I'm gonna go ahead and click this arrow again, and then we'll see what we can set up. So now as you can see, we can actually set up all of these different buttons. So for example, I'm gonna keep the mute, unmute speaker, the volume down, and the volume up button the same. And then same thing with play pause, I'll leave that the same. And then what we can do is, just as an example, I'll go ahead and click right here where it says back. And if I click that button, this is just an example of some of the actions that it allows you to take. So it looks like there's some AI actions, so it can be like OpenAI or ChatGPT prompts. I'm gonna stick away from that for right now. You also have smart actions that you can create, and then you have other actions. So all of these different things you can do. If you wanted to have it be your calculator, if you wanted it to do any of these functions, these are some of the actions that you can take. And then if I click keyboard shortcut, what you can do is you can have it do a combination of keys. So for example, the example they give here is if you push Control and C, it copies something. So what you can do is you can set these keys up so that when you push the button over here, it does whatever combination is there, and then that's a shortcut that you can create with your keyboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it and keep it as the back button for now, but that just gives you an idea of how you can actually use this keyboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this back button, and then now you can see everything here is ready to go. And then you can also have these easy switch buttons, and you can actually pair them to computers. And then with the settings, you can go here and check out some of the settings that you like. But what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna look right here, and as you can see, the keyboard and the mouse did pop up. And one thing that's nice about this app, again, it does show the battery percentage, and it does show that you're connected via Bluetooth. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and click Add Device. And then as you can see right here, this is that Logi Bolt USB receiver. And so right now we're using Bluetooth. I'm gonna go ahead and click this USB receiver, and let's just see what it does. So now it says long press connect. And then what that's gonna do is, that's gonna allow us to be able to use that actual USB receiver. So as you can see right here, it says searching devices. And so I did plug in that USB adapter, but this is just an idea of how you can change between using the USB receiver and using Bluetooth. All in all, the Logitech Pebble 2 combo is a great keyboard and mouse setup that does not disappoint. It provides a modern, compact style with highly customizable keyboard options for users of all ages and types. I hope you got a lot of great value out of this video, and please remember to like and subscribe for more videos in the future.